Khora is a frame that I don't see much anymore, but despite that, they're still regarded as one of the better farming frames in the game. Now, the farming frames obviously being Necros, Khora, Atlas, and Hydroid, but of course, other than Necros, all of them require augments. Now, Khora is known for being kind of a glass cannon. She can do high damage, but her survivability is pretty shit. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about why players like her, and the first reasoning I'm going to focus on is actually just her farming ability. Her Strangledome is one of the best crowd control abilities in the game. It can lock down a massive area, and everything that isn't a special enemy will get locked in and can't do anything, get trapped up in here, and then killing them while they're held within inside the Strangledome gives you a 65% chance of dropping extra loot if you have on the mod Pilfering Strangledome. Now, you could do insane amounts of crowd control just that alone, but she has another crowd control ability. Her second crowd control ability is Ensnare. Her second ability, it'll drag other enemies to that enemy that is ensnared and just lock them all down. Once again, they cannot do anything. This one does not grant extra loot, but just another insane crowd control ability that can lock down an entire room. It's insane. And then moving on from her crowd control is just her insane damage. Like I mentioned, she has insane damage. If you crowd control them and then start hitting them with your whip, you'll just do insane damage via her whip, which you can upgrade, meaning you can add on any status effects you want, even an arcane. And then if you have on the accumulating whip claw augment mod, you can just do insane amounts of damage stacking up super high, because accumulating whip claw allows you to stack up 35% damage bonus after hitting 3 enemies. So after hitting 3 enemies, you'll start stacking 35% damage each time you hit another enemy. And this will last for quite a while, 10 seconds until it delays. That is quite a while. So with crowd control and damage under her boot, it seems like nothing can stop her. Unfortunately though, there is a bit of a caveat. She has no survivability. Her abilities grant no survivability whatsoever. You can argue that her Veneri does, because you can hold down the Veneri button to switch between healing, defense, and attacking. Now this is affected by your strength, so if you have high strength, you'll get a higher amount of heals. My strength is negative, so I'm only getting 20 per second. Meanwhile, if you had higher strength, you could get 50, which is base, or you can get up to 100, even higher. So you get a lot of heals per second from Veneri, which is fantastic, and it does last quite a while. But unfortunately, at higher levels, that alone will just kill you, because no amount of healing will save you if you get one shot. So to make her tanky, I guess, the only way you can do that is by adding on shield gating, which requires now the catalyzing shield mod, and then either brief respite or an auger mod, which, because Khora revolves solely around using her abilities, will actually be very great for her, because while you're using catalyzing shields and brief respite or the auger mods, you'll be casting whip claw constantly to get all that damage in, which will help you shield gate quite consistently. And if you're not casting whip claw, you'll be casting Ensnare or your Strangledome. And then you can argue that via crowd control, that alone is also survivability. With the enemies not being able to attack you at all, that counts as survivability. But like I said, special enemies are exempt to her crowd control abilities, meaning that if an Xmas enemy walks upon you, you are kind of fucked. And now that's pretty much just about it. Khora is a fantastic frame that has crowd control and high damage alike, and on top of that, she has her own companion Veneri, which comes in built with her, meaning you don't have to trade out your companion slot for them. You can have 2 companions on, which is something everybody would love. So in the end, Khora is invaluable for defense, interception, and disruption missions, because, ironically, her Ensnare can lock down the disruptor enemies, the big kahungas that come to blow up the objective. She can lock them down for about 5 seconds before they move on, so she is invaluable in disruption missions as well. And then obviously, if you're farming, she is somebody that would be fantastic to have on your team. The only problem is that they have to be held within her Strangledome, meaning you have to drag them into the Strangledome one way or another. Anyway, with that being said, there's still a lot more to Khora, like the synergy between Ensnare and Veneri, where Ensnare allows Veneri to do 200% more damage to the enemy that is ensnared. So you'll be able to do just insane amounts of damage. And then Whip Claw, I'm pretty sure, adds on more status effects on the enemy that is ensnared, along with more damage as well. So you'll just be doing insane amounts of damage no matter what. And I'm going to leave it here because there's no need to explain too much. Khora is a fantastic farming frame. She's definitely one of the best defense frames And while she doesn't nuke the way other Warframes can, she does do insane amounts of damage. So if you're not keen on nuking specifically, Khora is definitely a frame you should check out. And with that being said, that's just about it. Let me know what you think about Khora, whether you love her, hate her, indifferent even. And if you have any other frames that you love or hate. And with that being said, on to next time.